She wanted a traditional wife life, but forgot the tradition part. Jake, a 40-year-old self-made builder, had been married to Sophie for 15 years. 3 years ago, life looked good. They'd just paid off the mortgage on their modest 3-bedroom home. Jake's business was pulling in around $100 Kelvin a year, and Sophie's management job at the NHS brought in another £50 Kelvin. They'd built it all from scratch, through years of hard work, thrift, and sacrifice. At first, Sophie was proud of Jake's hustle. She bragged to friends about how he was his own boss and how they'd climbed out of debt. But over time, Sophie started comparing their life to flashier friends, bigger houses, luxury cars, and Instagram-perfect kitchens. She began visiting houses triple their budget and pressuring Jake to think bigger. Eventually, he caved and bought a £700 Kelvin property, a move that instantly crushed their finances. Soon after, Sophie's circle of bad influence friends, her sister Valerie and pals Ivy and Zara, began holding weekly girls' nights at their house, filling Sophie's head with ideas about what real men should provide. She decided their perfectly good Honda Civic was embarrassing and pushed for a BMW lease Jake could barely afford. Sophie promised to work extra hours to help pay for it, but instead started working less, calling in sick, and talking about quitting altogether. The real tipping point came when Sophie got hooked on traditional wife influencers on Instagram and TikTok women who didn't work, dressed in 1,952nd style outfits, and had husbands who funded their entire lifestyle. Sophie wanted that life, minus the actual cooking, cleaning, or homemaking. Her plan was to get herself fired and live off Jake. She even called it embracing her feminine energy. Jake quietly documented everything her work sabotage, her spending habits, her social media posts, her stated goal of being provided for. He protected his business finances, separated accounts, and prepared for the inevitable. When Sophie finally declared she was done working, Jake called her bluff. If she wanted to be a traditional wife, she'd have to do it all home spotless, meals cooked, no cleaners, the works. Sophie exploded, calling him abusive. The fight ended with her saying she deserved to be cherished and provided for, just because she's a woman. Jake gave her a choice: fix the marriage or divorce. She chose divorce. In court, Jake's meticulous records destroyed her claims for alimony. Financial forensics showed Sophie had spent huge amounts on clothes and beauty while contributing less and less to the household. The judge awarded her half the proceeds from selling the house, about £12 Kelvin, half their savings, about £8 Kelvin, and some furniture, no alimony, no business stake, no car. The BMW lease was in Jake's name. After the split, Jake thrived, business booming, gym gains, financial freedom restored. 6 months later, he met Emily, a grounded, self-sufficient teacher who valued partnership over status. When Sophie heard, she tried to meddle, but Jake shut her down for good. His takeaway? Once respect is gone in a relationship, everything else is just performance, and no amount of money can fix that.